Welcome back to the channel. Today's going to be maybe a relatively shorter one, but it's a message that I feel like is important. And it is simple. Having someone is not the purpose of life. It's really not. I'm going to explain this here for a few minutes. Our society puts so much emphasis on having someone. I know there are a lot of lonely people. I know that loneliness is difficult. I've had times in my life where I was very lonely, when I really wanted to have somebody in my life. And many of you probably felt that way prior to the narcissist's arrival into your life, and you wanted someone in the worst way. And that does set you up. It's a normal human feeling to want to have someone in your life. And the narcissist preys upon that because you want to have somebody to make it work. You want to have a relationship. You want that partner that you can do life with. Culture puts a lot of emphasis on this. We put emphasis on jobs, careers, happiness, and of course, having somebody. You got to meet that person. You got to have that partner. Got to have that spouse. It's not even as much a spouse anymore as it's just you got to have somebody in your life. In fact, I think that it's made to be the end all to be all in a lot of cases. And there's a lot of people out there, like I said, I maybe was there at some point in my life where you feel like your life's just not complete. If you do not have someone in your life, you just can't do it. It's like you're functioning with three tires on your car instead of four. It's like it's just not working. I got to have that person. Life will only be right if I have that individual. It's frowned upon, in fact, to some degree, to not have a significant other. A lot of folks out there look at that as some sort of sign of weakness, like there's something wrong with you, or like you can't attract somebody, like you couldn't be with somebody if you wanted to. Those of us know that that is completely untrue. Myself and all of you watching this, if it was just a matter of just having someone, you could go out and just have someone. You could get on one of those godforsaken dating apps or approach somebody somewhere, but it's not just about having someone, it's about having the right person. But it's frowned upon. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? Why aren't they married? Why don't they have somebody? And it's really viewed as some kind of sign of weakness. And the narcissist, they view that as a sign of weakness because they cannot be alone, not for one split second of one solitary day. It's not going to happen. That's why they always have backups and they're always monkey branching, and it's literally just one relationship to the next, 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 and somebody's always being groomed to take over all the time because they literally cannot be alone. They are the epitome of codependent. Because people talk about codependence, and there's such a thing as codependents that aren't narcissists. They just cannot be alone. They can't. But a narcissist can't be alone either. Are they ever? But they frown upon it. They look at that as some kind of weakness. That's why when they leave and they go on to the person they've been grooming, or one of the many, and they look at you, they think, pathetic. Doesn't even have anybody. She doesn't even have anybody. Well, yeah, that's by design. Again, having someone, so what? So what? You got a relationship. You want us to throw a party? Streamers and balloons. And guys, please don't think this is like some kind of bitterness because I am single. Like I said, if you want to have somebody, you can have somebody. It's not about that. It's about having the right person. The narcissist doesn't care about the right person because there is no right person for them. It doesn't matter if you hung the moon and the stars, if you could walk on water. It doesn't make any difference to them. They're not going to be satisfied. So, yeah, they always have somebody. But as I've said on numerous videos, the narcissist is never single, but always alone. They are all alone, even in relationships, because they're never invested. They're never all in. So what? I understand, scripturally speaking, I am not against relationships. Believe me, this is God's design for humanity was to be in relationship, to have a husband or a wife. That was the ideal state of man and woman. Genesis spells it out clearly. Man was not meant to be alone. It's not good for man to be alone. Let's make a helper, a partner, a support. And that's what it literally means. Eve, or woman, was made to be a support, a helper, a helpmate for man. And they're supposed to work together beautifully. The man's supposed to be a man, the woman's supposed to be a woman. Most people out there today, that's not happening because it's this competition of power and control and who's going to dominate the relationship. And that's not how it was intended to be. But man and woman were intended to be in relationship. Having someone is a great thing if it's the right someone. And as we learn from the narcissist guys, it is absolutely useless to be with somebody if it's not right, much less vile, toxic, hateful person like the narcissist. You are exponentially, infinitely better off to be single on your own than to be with one of those nightmares. But you're also far better off to be on your own than to be with anyone who's not the right person. You've got to, we learn this, we know this. You have got to have a physical and spiritual attraction to a person. And I know that there are a lot of people out there, primarily females, who will often say, well, you don't have to have physical attraction. That's not true. Maybe there are some people who feel that way, and that's, I guess, good. I don't know. But that's not even natural either. We were made to have attraction to people. Now, can your standards be ridiculous to the point? Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. But to have a functioning, healthy relationship that's good for both people, you need to have a spiritual and physical attraction, both things. It's not that complicated. And if you don't have one or the other, it's fruitless to pursue that. Having someone means nothing if you don't have those two things, because it will not last, it will not work, it will not be fulfilling. Without question, the spiritual component is by far the most important. It makes no difference how a person looks if they're corrupt. Absolutely no difference at all. They'll rock your world. The narcissist is the example of that. They will absolutely destroy you because they're spiritually corrupt. It is a beautiful thing to have someone to go through this life with, to share the burdens, to support one another, to go through the really hard times and the hard things, and even the simple things like car breaks down. It's okay because we're together and there's two cars, and I'll drop you off while your car is being repaired. And that sort of stuff is beautiful. It makes life much, much easier. And that's what God intended. So having someone is a beautiful thing if it's the right person. And if it's not the right person, it's going to make your life worse. Period. End of discussion. It will. Having someone is not the purpose of life. People are on this endless search, and I get it because I've been there before, where you really feel like you're lonely. You just gotta have a person. And honestly, I'm telling you the truth here, and I sympathize with that because I've been there. If you're lonely, if you have a hard time being on your own, there's work to do. Believe me, you can get to a point where you're absolutely good without somebody. And you need to get to that point. And I'm not saying that once you do, it magically unlocks and your person comes walking in the door because you're good on your own now. That's not how that works either. But you are whole and complete in the Lord on your own by yourself. And then if a person comes along that adds value to your life. It adds value, but it doesn't complete you. It's not Jerry Maguire, you complete me, some kind of bogus nonsense. That's not what, that's not it, because having a relationship is not the purpose of life. I think Jesus spelled out the purpose of life in many different ways, and the Bible does. But here's one such example. John 17:3. Jesus said, "Now this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent." That's the purpose of life. To know God, to walk in his ways, to bring glory to his name, to be raised up to live with him on the last day, and to bring as many people with us as we can. That is the purpose of life. That's what we're told. Seek ye first the kingdom, and then other things will be added to you. The purpose of life is to know the living God and to walk in his ways to the glory of his name, to be raised up to live on the last day, everlasting life, and help as many people as we can. Once we have that, help as many as we can. That's the purpose of life. The purpose of life is not to have someone. It's not to have a relationship. That's not it. So I want to encourage you, and I hope that it is, because if you're lonely, I get it. Even as a single person who's good, you still have moments of loneliness. You still have days where you do wish you had that right person, that you got the physical and spiritual attraction to, and vice versa, and it works and it matches. We know in today's society that is exceedingly hard to find. It's exceedingly hard. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Absolutely, it's possible. It happens. It may happen for me. It may happen for you. May. I don't know. And it's a beautiful thing if it happens. But that is adding value to your life. It's not completing your life. It's not the purpose. It's normal to feel that. It's normal to feel a little bit of loneliness. It is at times. We'd all love to have that right special person in our lives. But being good on your own, it's a powerful thing too. If you are out there and you know what it's like to be genuinely good on your own, you know the power that's in that. You feel a certain type of empowerment that you just never have had before, that you can't have any, even in a relationship. And I'm not saying it's better than having the right person. Well, as I said, we were meant to be in relationship. It's a beautiful, God-given thing. It's just that it's not the purpose of life. So don't feel like you have to have somebody. Don't feel like your life's incomplete, that you're riding around your car on 3 tires because you don't have that special person. And it may come. And I'm not going to be like other people who sit here and promise you, oh, absolutely, without any doubt, it's just going to happen at some point. Well, maybe, maybe not. This world, guys, is a wreck. It's a wreck. You can't do anything with 95+% of people out there. You just can't. To find that person that aligns with you, it's like lightning in a bottle. You gotta kind of get lucky. And it does happen. It can happen. Don't lose hope on that. I'm not saying abandon the idea of being with anybody. Not at all. Be open-minded. Keep an eye out. Put your life together as well as you possibly can for you and for your relationship with God and for the kingdom and for your mission and purpose. Seek first the kingdom, and then other things might be added. It might come your way. I'm not saying lose heart, and don't think you'll be alone forever. But understand that finding a person to be in a relationship with, that's not the purpose of life. It's a special thing if it comes your way. Cherish it, honor it, keep an eye open. Expect it to come even at some point, but not in a needy way. Like, this will fulfill me. This is what I gotta have. If I don't have it, you can't be that way. Enjoy the life that you have right now. singleness is a gift too. Singleness has blessings that being with a person doesn't have. It's a great thing. Enjoy that season, however long the season is. Even if the season's the rest of your life, make the best of it. Enjoy it. Flourish in it. Because having someone's not the purpose of life. Knowing God, serving God, being raised up to live on the last day, that is. And if you're really pursuing that, you don't even worry about if someone's going to enter your life. You don't even worry about it. You're just confident. You're so good that you're like, yeah, if it comes, that's great. Awesome. Bonus. Icing on the cake. But it's not the cake. So guys, I hope that you got something from this message. I just understand that you can be lonely. And especially after you deal with the narcissist, you're like, I got to have somebody. I got to have somebody. You don't. Slow down. Relax. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy that season that you have, however long it is. Get so good in your life with God that you don't even need to have anybody. That you don't obsess over it. You're not thinking all the time. If I'm going to meet somebody here and there, you're just good. And if it comes your way, amazing. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Focus on God, His kingdom, bringing other people into it. And if it's for you to have somebody in your life, then you'll have them at some point. And if it's not, you won't. And it's okay either way. So, guys, I hope that this spoke to somebody, and it speaks to me as well. So, anyway, drop comments below. Hope that everybody had a good weekend. It's a Sunday evening. I'm getting ready to have dinner and go take a walk, as I so often do. And I'll be walking on my own, and just me and the Lord. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So, anyway, guys, until next time, take care and God bless.